Oswego Pediatrics are handling the new vaccine authorization for kids ages 5 to 11.
Why one phone company is committing to better wireless connectivity.
And how one Oswego alum feels about the transgender support on campus.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Darcy Maholsky is the program director here at the Friends for Life program.
Now able to get their COVID vaccine since authorization has been granted. With this, many areas of New York are extending efforts to get kids vaccinated. Several counties around New York have been steadily getting the vaccines out to kids this week, some for the first time today. In New York City, incentives have been put in place so some kids will be able to snag $100 as incentives to get the vaccine. That's according to Mayor Bill de Blasio.
For Oswego County, those vaccines are still on the way. Today we spoke to several pediatricians in the area who have different thoughts on the matter. Dr. Vilma Juneau, pediatrician's office, is working on getting those vaccines, while Dr. James Sawyer's office isn't seeing them anytime soon.
Darcy Maholsky is the program director here at the Friends for Life program. She says that her favorite part of the program is working with the participants.
It's just fun.
Down the street at the YMCA, they're providing recreational care for Oswego County families of people with developmental disabilities.
Have shown a tremendous amount of growth being in the program.
A lot of them don't have a lot of opportunities to go out and socialize with friends, and we have that.
Activities of the day usually include a game of dodgeball in the gymnasium. After that fun yet very intense game of dodgeball, respite participants come right upstairs in the lounge to hang out, play some video games, or draw. Alex Burns is one participant who enjoys drawing during his day at the program. Alex shares some personal progress he's made within himself since being here at the respite program.
I learned that it's more fun to play together. I normally don't go out as much, but since I go here often, I tend to go more.
Colin Darling, another participant, demonstrates how he communicates with peers using his Dynavox device.
Hi, I am Colin Dowling.
The Friends for Life program continues to promote a fun and caring environment in order for participants to grow. Oswego Now, Brianna Boateng.
The YMCA is continuing their efforts to make for a more inclusive environment for all participants of its program.
AT&T customers will be getting a big boost in wireless connectivity as the company expands their mobile broadband in Oswego County. AT&T has added a new cell site in the Village of Mexico to enhance the area's coverage and provide faster services, more reliable and wireless connectivity. This marks the 8th new site in the Oswego County in the last 20 years. First responders on FirstNet will also be provided 24/7 priority across voice and data access.
The Rural Health Network of Oswego County honored Chief Medical Officer Dwayne Tull and Eric Brees, Director of Franham Family Services. With the Rural Health Champion Award, these two community members were recognized for their exceptional leadership work and services within the county. The Rural Health of Oswego does these honors every year for National Rural Health Day. These professionals have seen numerous successes within the Oswego community. Many individuals say they have been a great help to their success.
SUNY Oswego Chorus is back and better than ever. They are now in person performing in Tyler Hall. WTOP 10's Jeremy Lynch reports on what new changes have been made during the pandemic.
SUNY Oswego's choirs are back to rehearsing fully in person this semester after 2 consecutive semesters of hybrid-style rehearsals due to COVID-19. People enrolled in SUNY Oswego's college choirs this semester are required to wear a mask and socially distance at all times during their rehearsal, since they are in an indoor classroom setting. Karen Patterson is a brand new choir director to SUNY Oswego this fall. Patterson is really excited that performances are back, but COVID-19 is still of a concern to her.
I think the thing that concerns me is obviously keeping all of the performers and the audience members safe, but by following our COVID protocols, I believe that we are being safe wearing masks, trying to keep ourselves socially distant from each other.
Robert Ackerman is a senior and the vice president of the men's college choir. He sings tenor one and sometimes gets to play percussion for some of the pieces. He's excited to show off his skills at the concert.
It's really fun to be doing this, especially with the new people in choir who are seeing me in that different context. It's really great to be able to contribute to the choir, outside of just singing in it.
SUNY Oswego's college choir concert is scheduled to be Tuesday, November 9th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. Anyone interested in watching the event can watch at Sheldon Ballroom, and also there will be a live stream available to those people who cannot make it to the concert in person. This is Jeremy Lynch reporting to you for WTOP 10 Nightly News. Back to you in the studio.
Now, there will be no tickets required for the concert. However, proof of vaccination and masks are required for those attending in person.
As trans support events take place on the SUNY Oswego campus, groups are recognizing national problems after a Catholic hospital in Northern California was sued for refusing to perform a hysterotomy on a transgender patient. The case has made it to the Supreme Court, which rejected the hospital's appeal. Oswego alum Jen Robledo says it's important for the LGBT community to stick together during these times.
Governor Kathy Hochul announced $4 million of federal funding is now available for New York's mental health peer workforce. The funding will go towards towards workforce recruitment and retention in the State Office of Mental Health. This will increase access to peer services to support individuals and families with a wider array of treatment and services. Hochul says the state will continue to meet New Yorkers' needs.
Hochul also spoke about her fear of the future of the state as the Supreme Court is revisiting a law that has been in place for over 108 years. The new law would now allow anyone to carry concealed weapons without the need to be granted a permit, and allow anyone to carry firearms into any public or private space. Judges say reasons behind the ruling are out of concern for the safety of residents when walking at night.
The Urban Institute says New York State population has been undercounted by 1.1%. According to the Census Bureau, if the state had counted just 89 more people, it would keep all 27 seats in the House. Representatives. It is still unclear if the seat will be lost. However, it is not uncommon for a massive state such as New York to be undercounted.
Coming up later tonight, find out about which diversity speakers spoke with us today.
And how the election across the nations are seeing diverse results.
But first, let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Braden Alessi.
Thank you, Eric. Recently we've been experiencing some chillier conditions in the evenings. Temperatures have been dropping into the 30s overnight, which is quite low compared to what we've been experiencing lately. It marks the start of November, perfect drop in temperatures. With this, any precipitation moving into the area will be a mix of both rain and snow, with temperatures being around freezing point in the low 30s. And these temperatures will be increasing throughout the weekend, leading to a warmer start for next weekend. And tonight, we will have a chance for rain and snow showers with these temperatures dropping into the low 30s around freezing point. Any precipitation that will be moving into the Oswego area will be in a mix between rain and snow. Cloudy conditions and temperatures will be going into the low 30s. Stick around. After the break, we'll be having some more weather.
drawing contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute. You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back, everyone, to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Braden Alessi, here with your weather forecast for this evening. So over the past few days, we have seen some chillier conditions with temperatures dropping into the low 30s, and this will bring the chance for a mix of precipitation between rain and snow as it moves through the night, throughout the night. There will be a chance for rain and snow, a mix due to these temperatures being around 30 degrees and freezing point at 32 degrees. So any precipitation that moves through the Oswego area will be a mix of both rain and snow. Now these low temperatures will not be staying around for too long, however. There will be an increase in temperatures going through this weekend, which will lead to a warmer start for next weekend. And just highlighting these temperatures right now, temperatures in Oswego around 33 degrees as compared to east of us in the Adirondacks at higher elevations. They are experiencing cooler temperatures and will have the chance to experience snow coming off of the lake, something we will not be experiencing due to our location at a lower elevation. Going into throughout the night, we'll have some quiet conditions with the slight chance of rain and snow. It will be a mix of precipitation. Temperatures will be around 33, 32 degrees, which is freezing point, and the precipitation will be a mix of both rain and snow. They'll drop down to around 30 degrees for the low for this evening. Cloudy conditions and winds will be coming out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So just to recap, over the past few days, you may have seen on the ground here in Oswego, there is what's called graupel. It's a type of hail, and as this falls from the cloud and reaches a warm surface layer, warm layer above the surface, these snowflakes will undergo partial melting throughout as they fall through this warm layer, and water droplets will stick to these snowflakes, which will form a sort of spherical shape, which is what we see on the ground here and is known as graupel. They stay in the ground throughout the day until the sun melts them. They are mostly liquid and half-solid precipitation. So here's the Temptations giving us some words of wisdom for tomorrow. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. We have positivity and happiness to good us throughout a cloudy day. Tomorrow, temperatures will be in the upper 40s, stretching to 47 degrees as our high. Will be decreasing going throughout the evening. And a chance of precipitation, as I mentioned, with the rain and snow mix, will be decreasing as the day progresses, starting out with a chance, and by the evening, that chance will be gone. So with tomorrow, the chance precipitation will linger around. Temperatures will be around 46 degrees, but there will be warming going into the weekend as temperatures pick up into the 50s to a warm start to the next week, going into next week. Tune in after the break for more information on sports and news here on WTOP 10 Nightly News.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter, male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers, we have leaders in business, is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Here at WTOP, we pride ourselves on delivering you all the news you need to know from the day's events.
Whether it's happened on Capitol Hill or right here in Oswego,
we make sure you know all about it. We keep you up to date on all your favorite
Oswego and professional sports.
And our Storm Team 10 meteorologist will make sure that you know exactly what weather you're up against when you start your day.
Every Monday through Thursday night, make sure to tune in to Channel 10.2, because at WTOP, we don't just tell you the news.
We are
the news.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Hey Oswego, I'm Peyton Ashford, and tonight I have a lot of updates for you. In their newest edition of I Am Oz Speaker, SUNY Oswego invited Dr. Eddie Glaude Jr. to talk about confronting history and bringing nationwide issues and vulnerabilities into full view. Dr. Glaude Jr. is an author, political activist, and educator at Princeton University. The most popular of his writings include Begin Again, James Baldwin's America, and its urgent lessons for our own. I had the pleasure to sit down with Dr. Glaude Jr. before his presentation to see his insight into examining the dynamics of the African American experience.
Critical race theory is just the latest in a litany of efforts to evade looking ourselves in the mirror. We don't want to tell ourselves the truth about who we are. We're comfortable being national adolescents in some ways. We refuse to grow up.
As the Oswego Diversity Series continued, Dr. Eddie Glaude spoke on recent states like Virginia having prohibiting educators from teaching about racism in schools. This comes as a debate as to whether or not critical race theory should be taught in schools indefinitely. The discussions surrounding critical race theory continue to be had as a result, as politicians from both parties are seeing an uptick in these conversations. Now, as a new part of our What's Up Oswego segment, we're partnering with the Oswego Humane Society to bring you this week's adoptable pet of the week, Max. Max has high energy and is looking for a family that understands his need for space and playtime. This friend for life can be adopted via the Adopt a Pet webpage for the Oswego Humane Society. You can email questions to info.oswegohumane.org. Megan, Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Peyton.
Thanks, Peyton. Definitely Max looked really cute, don't you think? Mm-hmm. The LGBTQ plus community is celebrating this election season as the total number of newly elected officials pushes the threshold to the total elected LGBTQ plus members into office over 1,000. Gay, bisexuals, and transgender people make up at least 237 members. Each candidate on the ballot, which is 18.5% increase in queer diverse and 6.15% in New York Council members.
The federal government is laying out a new timeline for certain vaccine mandates to be implemented. The new rules could be impacting more than 100 million workers across the country. With the new deadline set January 4th, the mandates are facing some pushback. Many health experts say it's a critical tool to protect workers and bring an end to the pandemic. Chris Ningyan has the details.
In the fight against COVID-19, the Biden administration announcing Thursday large companies across the country now have until January 4th to ensure that their employees are fully vaccinated.
We know the most disruptive thing in a workforce is to have a COVID outbreak.
The sweeping new health measure covers 84 million private sector workers and applies to businesses with 100 or more employees. OSHA says companies should provide paid time off for employees to get vaccinated, as well as sick leave for side effects. Workers who are not vaccinated by then must get weekly testing.
We know that vaccines absolutely save lives, and we know that mandates work.
Federal contractors, as well as 17 million workers at healthcare facilities that receive either Medicare or Medicaid funding, are also now required to meet the same January 4th deadline. The plan, which was first announced in September by President Biden, directed the Labor Department to invoke its emergency powers over workplace safety. But critics say could further impact labor shortages and supply chain issues.
And these job ultimatums, I think, can only move the economy in a much worse direction.
President Biden pushing back on concerns in a statement saying in part, there have been no mass firings and worker shortages because of vaccine requirements. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
This comes as Biden says now over 70% of the nation is vaccinated.
Moving overseas, as Europe is battling a surge in COVID-19 cases despite a rise in vaccination. The World Health Organization reports show Europe has experienced a 50% increase in COVID-19 cases over the last month. Many of these new cases are coming from countries in Eastern Europe who do not have the resources to distribute vaccines like those in the West. Most of these countries have vaccinated less than half of their citizens compared to the EU's average of 75%.
To help combat the rise of COVID-19 cases in Europe, the UK has approved the world's first pill against the virus. The medication can be taken at home and helps reduce the likelihood of hospitalizations or death in people who are at risk of developing a serious illness from the virus. The British government has not given a date when the medicine will be widely available to the public and is currently only available to those participating in a national study. Coming up in sports, Trent Wilkinson.
Trent, can you give us a quick preview?
Tonight, the Lakers head coach J.J. O'Connell is set to retire, plus Sean Tucker is on the cusp of breaking a school record in Syracuse football history. All that for you following this break on WTOP 10.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute. They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Good evening. I'm Trent Wilkinson with your WTOP 10 Sports. Lakers volleyball head coach J.J. O'Connell is set to retire in mid-March next year. O'Connell is known for appearing 6 of the 9 postseason conference tournament during his time at Oswego, including 2 appearances in conference semifinal games. In addition to his accomplishments, he was named AVCA New York Regional Coach of the Year in 2008 while coaching at Stevens Institute in Technology. He concludes his 20-year career as head coach with a 425-221 record, including 153-129 record for the Lakers. The women's ice hockey team returned to Deborah F. Stanley Arena for a pair of hockey games for this weekend's coat, hat, and mitten drive. Fans are encouraged to bring any lightly used apparel to the game, where it will be donated to Oswego City Schools Athletic Department for the holidays. Also a reminder that through the support of Oswego County Health, admission to women's ice hockey regular season home game is free of charge this season. Syracuse Orange football team is on the lookout for a probable new school record in most rushing yards in a single season. Running back Sean Tucker has 1,267 rushing yards this season, making it third highest to Walter Ray's with 1,347 yards and Joe Morris with 1,372. Tucker currently averages 140.8 yards per game, as he and his team will go to Kentucky next weekend when they take on the Louisville Cardinals. The NFL named Buffalo Bills kicker Tyler Bass the AFC Special Team Player of the Month. Bass has not missed a kick during the month of October, as he made all 10 field goals and all 13-point attempts that totals up to 43 points, making it the third most in the NFL in that month. He currently stands second in the league with the most field goals made and most points scored by a kicker this season. Last night, the Brooklyn Nets, Atlanta Hawks both came in with a 4-3 record, where one of them hoped to go 5-3. Trae Young looking to put up a three-pointer, as he does right there, making it one of the 2 3-pointers in the court, but not enough for the Hawks to lead. And then, late in the second, he slings it over to Young, or over to Collins, and allows it up to Capella in the alley-oop. Great play, but Hawks still trailed at the end of the half. Third quarter was a back-and-forth action until Harden, of what looked like a layup attempt, instead passes to Joe Harris for 3. That makes it a tie, breaks the tie after minute 15 seconds of it. And then another 3-pointer would be made later on. Passing it on to Durant. 3-pointer, that will go right there. Kevin Durant, and sensational performance out of him. Here's another one with a third quarter buzzer beater right there. 3-pointer, amazing, with 32 points scored and 13 for 20 field goals. And the Nets, along with 76ers, Raptors, and Knicks right now, are in a tight Atlantic division in NBA.
Thank you so much, Trent, for that. I hope everyone can make it to the women's game this weekend to donate to the clothes drive. But for tonight, that's all for our report. Thank you so much for watching.
And have a great night, everyone.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.